know, get a good following, and I was like, cookbook, you know, because it was a food blog, and it was chronicling my first year of law school. So I thought of the name Legally Eating, which is kind of, I really like wordplay, which I'm sure you will gather if you look at any of my blogs. So for me, that described what I was writing about, because the blog was my company. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But for my social media marketing business, the name of my business was the only name I needed, and then it's just the SQ Modern Media blog. Okay. So if you're blogging to, you know, to be a blogger, then your name will be about your blog, and it'll kind of try and encompass all those different things. You can name your blog within a company. One of my clients, they create collaborative management software, and their tagline is keeping everyone on the same page, because your whole project is on one single page. So they named their blog the same page, which I thought was clever and, you know, just kind of interesting. It kind of gets that tagline out there a lot, but it's not necessary, because if you have the domain, then it's going to go to like blog.yourdomain.com or yourdomain.com/blog.
So with mine, my blog is attached to my website, which instead of being HRBrainForHire.com, is now DelmarJohnson.com. Although people can still get me through the HR Brain for Hire, because I still have my old business cards out there. But my blog, you know, is a link on my website, DelmarJohnson.com. So I wouldn't necessarily need a separate name for my blog, since it's just a tab there. Right. Right? Right. Okay.
Where is your blog? Is that on, which domain is that being hosted on?
It's hosted on HostGator.com.
Okay, well, I mean, is it attached to HR Brain for Hire, or is it attached to the DelmarJohnson.com domain?
Is attached to HR Brain for Hire. I have DelmarJohnson.com forwarded.
Okay, okay.
Forwarded to the, I don't know if it'll mess anything up, but I have it forwarded, so people can still get me from either way now.
Okay. What I would do, especially going back to the SEO, if you're trying to get everything redirected, if you're trying to, you know, obviously, there was a Delmar Johnson in like Florida who committed a crime. So whenever I Google your name, he comes up.
Yes, he does. Whoever that beast was.
At least it's like clearly not you. You know,
very clearly. Clearly, not me.
Why don't I use a photo with that?
Yeah, it's very, very clearly that I am not that Delmar Johnson. Yes. And that's the thing, because when I pull up Delmar Johnson, because I Google myself all the time. When I pull up Delmar Johnson, it's that felon. And then it's some senator from somewhere, and then it's me. Well, obviously my picture comes up, and obviously I'm not a male, white, middle-aged man. So, but you know, but when that name comes up, I'm like, oh, I got a felon and I need to do something about that. Yeah. But I'm surprised that I was even able to get my domain though, because of those two people. It's like,
you would think the senator would have that.
You would think the senator would have that, but no, I bought my domain last year and I held on to it. I'm like, how did I get DelmarJohnson.com without using my middle name? But maybe he uses his middle name in his.
That's true.
I think it's like Delmar W. Johnson. So that may be his domain. But nobody had just Delmar Johnson, so I snatched it up and was very surprised about it. But I have that forwarded to HR Brain for Hire, but my blog is hosted, attached to HR Brain for Hire. So is there something I probably need to do to?
If you're trying to completely rebrand as DelmarJohnson.com, I would take the WordPress application. I mean, I'm not totally sure how the structure of your website and the website, which is a domain with applications attached to it. I don't know how that's structured, but I would recommend that your WordPress application be attached to DelmarJohnson.com. Okay. Because the search engines and crawling through the search engines, having as much content as possible on the one domain you're trying to get to will boost your search results. Okay. I mean, I think that would be recommended for you. And of course, you can forward from HR Brain for Hire, so that when people type that in, they immediately go to delmarjohnson.com. But I would put the blog where you want people to end up.
Okay.
I have a quick question, because the blog that I'm trying to create is not just for me, not tied personally to me.
Okay.
How do you do that so that multiple people can,
Okay.
because I'm like, okay, if I've made the mistake of attaching things to my Facebook page.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. How do I do that for Facebook and YouTube and all that?
Okay.
Because I thought you had to be a person.
Yeah, you can do it with a blog, because you can have multiple authors on a blog. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you guys how to set up a WordPress, and we'll go over it then.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fairly easy to do that, so that you can have.
Because I don't want it tied to my Facebook.
Right.
Well, on Facebook, you can set it up where you have multiple admins
on a page.
Yeah, but if that would be putting it under my Facebook and making a page for it.
Well, yeah, if you have a page, you can, like a Facebook page, you can set it up where there's multiple admins, just like he's saying. And,
okay. And that's okay to do it that way?
Right. And you know, ultimately, when you make someone else an admin, they have as much power as you do.
Sure.
Do they have power, though, over your personal Facebook page?
No.
It's only on the other sites. I'm involved in several associations and things, and I'm admin on those.
Yeah, the only thing that they'll be able to change whatsoever is that page, not even other pages that you're an admin on in there. It's just, you know, you are giving them, each permission is given individually.
Quick question. Now, I have a Facebook page that I started. It is not named this. Can you rename a Facebook page?
Have you chosen the URL? Like the little username where it says facebook.com/name?
On the Facebook page? I don't think so.
Okay. You can only change that once, I believe.
Yeah.
But if you haven't changed it,
then I might could do it there and stay with this one that I've already created.
Yeah, you can easily change that.
So I'm just going to write down change the name. Okay.
Yeah, having everything named the same. I mean, that's just a simple branding concept, but you would be amazed at how many people, you know, use completely different graphics on their Facebook and their blog, or their website and their Twitter look nothing alike. You know, if you look at, I'll show you guys really quick. I try to make everything that I do just, it makes it.
Yeah, I'm even just trying to see on this one. I guess edit page would be what I'm doing.
Building brand equity like that, because people are too easily confused.
Right. And I mean, it seems silly, because to us it's like, well, clearly this is both of my things, but that's because we're living in a treehouse, and you know, they're just trying to like, you know, you can't complicate it, because with the internet, I mean, there's so much out there. You can't, you know, vying for attention is hard enough as it is. You don't want to complicate it, because there's someone else out there that is doing what you're doing, but all their pictures are the same, you know, and you get it, and it's simple. It also makes your graphic design a lot easier. You just like change
colors,
the pixels, yeah, and just like make it a little wider.
Because that's where I am right now. I've gotten so frustrated with other people trying to do my website in a timely fashion. I've decided I'm doing WordPress. I'm going to build my own platform.
Yeah.
But I'm splitting my business up into 3 areas. It's all storytellers. We all tell your stories, but it's for life, love, and business.
Okay.
So life, love, biz.
Yeah.
And I want a splash page to enter, but then all of them will look the same, except for there'll be very different audiences and different color schemes.
Yeah, I can definitely, as soon as you said that, I was kind of envisioning, if you had like the 3 columns and they're kind of grayed out, and on a hover, the opacity would, you know, be 100% or whatever. Like all black and white and different kind of color bars. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it would say like red, love, you know, green, life, or whatever. Just to, I don't know, that was kind of
That's great.
irrelevant.
But maybe somebody else think, you know, something different.
Okay, so we'll see. I use all of the same pictures, the same color scheme. It's that gray and teal for everything.
I love that.
This one?
No, your Twitter.
Oh.
Your Twitter, okay.
Yeah, I have my face on
Well, that's good. In personal business, you
I'm
are the
branding
business.
myself, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I need to do with my Twitter as well.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it's really very simple, but I really love graphic design. So it may just be like, I like it, so I do it. But that's like what I'm doing for my fiance for Valentine's Day. I'm like making him a website secretly. That's who I am. So maybe dorkier than the average girl. Okay, anyway, are there questions? Anything else?
Okay, I'm back at this name.
Sure. Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, we're just kind of,
Sorry.
it's open discussion.
If we already have, we have something called a website. Can we use that?
Explain a little bit more.
All right. This website, we've just been kind of like fumbling in the dark.
Right.
All right. This website is www.2burnetsforsuccess.info.
Okay.
Okay. Can that be used for the blog or?
Let me ask you this:
Okay.
how did you develop the website?
My husband did.
Okay.
We just, I don't know how to answer that.
Okay.
We just got it.
Okay. A lot of times, if you use a service that like
Service.
webs